last time we showed you guys how to change the settings for your technical view in order to create a pure line work perspective drawing as your base in creating a collage within the Photoshop environment. And then we also show you how you can take texture image and then transform it into the perspective of your drawing. And then, so the first one was transformed into a perspective, and then we made it progressively smaller by using scale transform in order to fill up the entire area for water. So once you've done all that, let's just click on water down here, and then we hold down the shift key and then click on all the water layers you've added, and then we're gonna do Control E. So once you've done Control E, you can see how we merged all those little layers into one single layer, and we can double click here and change it to water. So now we have a cleaner layer organization. So this workflow is good if you have a very slow computer that doesn't even do any 3D shading. We'll show you what that is within Rhino. And also it's good if you just have a very conceptual idea that you sketch out by hand. In this case, you didn't even spend the time to create a 3D model. Sometimes you just don't even have time to create a 3D model. And you also want it to look quite preliminary without making people think that you're already done with your design without their input. So this will be a good workflow in that case. And also, like in my case, I was shopping around for real pool images, like this one. And I couldn't find one without a lot of people in it. Most of them have way too many people, and I didn't want to spend the time figuring out whether I want one of those people, because way too many people in those images. I finally found one that had just one person in the foreground, and the perspective also needs to kind of fit what you have. So this one looks okay, and I'm going to use it to demo how we can use mask. For example, we can use mask to just choose what you want from a pre-existing image. So basically this is done using a different kind of view from Rhino as well. So if you go to Rhino here, right now we're looking at the technical view. So if you right click here, you can go to the render view, which is going to take a lot longer, especially for those of you who do not have the right graphics card or have i5 processor. I would not recommend render view. It might be very slow. So in this case, you can just go to the shader view and just change the colors here. So you can begin to use those colors as a starting point for your collage in Photoshop. And there are all these ISO curves or other reference lines that we don't want to have. So we can make them disappear by going to display options. And then here, just make sure that you don't check any shadow if you don't want to, bring them in. And you can actually create shadow here and bring them into Photoshop as a separate file. But in this case, I'm just going to show how we see. If I uncheck this, I just eliminate all the ISO curves that look really distracting. And then I can also eliminate all the other lines that I don't want. And the outlines are okay because we did have the previous line work, which we can use to manipulate the outlines. And eventually we want to make it white. So let's just say okay here. And then you might not like the color of the structure or any other features. And that's something you can modify easily if you just go to layer here. And then, so this structure is, if we go here, it's showing up as kind of a gray color, even though the original color is black. If you just click on that black square there, you can just use the color wheel to pick the color you like, and then just say okay. So now we just change the color of your structure. So let's just say you like what you're seeing now. You can just right click, and then again, to export this, we go to capture to file, and then we want to stick to the original resolution of your other files so we can align them easily in Photoshop. And also you might want to consider doing transparent background, because we're going to be using another image that has a sky, and then use the concept of mask again to reveal everything else but the sky. So let's just say okay in this case. And then I already save it here, and we can just say it's shaded eye level or whatever you want to name it as, and then just say yes. Okay, so I'm going to see you guys in a different video where we're going to be talking about the nitty gritty of creating a mask and how to link that with a particular drawing. And then how do we, work with multiple masks and so on. All right, I'll see you in the next video.